Hey guys, it's Tanya. I am coming back to show you my latest journal, and it is called Lillian's Diary, an African and Bohemian journal, and I am so excited. This lovely lady on the cover is Lillian, and I felt like this was the designs in her scarf, so I just put this as a closure, and you just tie it up, and then on the spine you have I'm sorry, I don't know if you can see that. Okay, on the spine you have like earrings. Let me put it that way. And that is from her aunt. These are from her aunt. And right here, and we have lint, okay. This textile right here is from her dad. So you know how like back in the day men wore suits and then they had the paisley vests and all that stuff. So this would be her dad's vest. Okay, so the story begins when Lillian is 5. So this is a life shot of her life. This is her diary. So her dad is African, his mother is African, and his father is a French aristocrat. And his dad her dad travels from back and forth from England, France, Africa, and America, holding and managing his dad's lands. Now, in that time, it was very dangerous for a black man to travel. So this is her dad, Theo. And I got these amazing photos from Mad Paper Crush. But her dad's name is Theo. And of course, a black man at that time in the 1800s would need traveling papers. So I printed out an authentic, a copy of an authentic travel paper. And I figured this is what one of his dad's holdings in America would look like. And of course we have some money from Africa. And of course that's not real. So when he was in Africa, he had to stay a little bit longer. So he stays about 2 years. He falls in love with an African woman named Adu. And isn't she so pretty? He falls in love with her. I don't know if you can see that. And they get married, and she becomes pregnant. And her child birth is very, very hard, and she passes away in childbirth. So he is left with a daughter. And before I get on with the story, this is a printout of a vintage African map that I found. So I just put that in here. So he has this daughter, and the only other person he knows that can help him is his sister, and her name is Georgiana, and she owns an estate in Cornwall. So that is where our story begins. This is Georgiana in Cornwall and the rest of her life. Okay, so on here we have Mir for, and I don't know if I'm saying that correct, but it is French for mother. So this one is her birth mother, and then we have, it opens up like this. This is her aunt, Georgiana. And this is her aunt's estate, of what I think it would look like. And then we go down to her other mother. So one day, I guess when she was 5, Lillian was 5, she goes down to the river, and her aunt always let caravans of gypsies come and stay on her property, because back in the day, you already know, they were kind of ostracized, so it's kind of hard for them, and she definitely knows what it feels like to be ostracized. So she lets them stay there free of charge when they're in town. And Lillian, she goes by the river, and she sees Clementina. Clementina is about 15 years old, and they start talking, and then she realizes that Clementina lost her mother as well when her mother was in childbirth. So they are motherless. So they began a great friendship, and Clementina teaches her different things throughout the years, and so that's why these ladies are in the mother category. Okay, and this right here is a folder, or a pocket folder, I guess that's what you can say. Okay, so now we're flipping into it, and I tried to put it in chronological order, guys. So Lillian was born in 1876, okay, and she lived to be 94, so that would make her pass away in 1970. So with that being said, this book doesn't have a lot of vellum and tape in it because you know, a cellophane tape came in later, and I don't know when vellum came, but I just didn't think that it was in the 1800s, so I didn't put it in there. But anyway, so this right here is just a pocket, and I made these papers to go along with the journal right here, and it has an envelope, and this I am so proud of. Right here is pieces of the fabric that I got from Africa. So we have this one, and this one, and the rest are some fabrics that I already had, so I just put it as a pocket right there. And then we flip it over, and Lillian loves nature. She has a great eye for nature. She loves it. She loves anything with herbal healing and things like that because she really wants to be a doctor. But in the 1800s, women are not really allowed to be doctors, you know, so we'll move on to that in a minute. But anyway, this is part of her father's handwriting. Of course, it's just the old vintage piece of paper that I got, but I loved it. And then we have some more vintage music paper, some more Edith Holden. We have some tassels. And this right here, since she loves nature so much, is an eco-dyed envelope that I did, and is a pocket right here and a pocket right here. And then we have a vintage postcard, and this is vintage wallpaper. And she loves wallpaper, so she just likes the different designs. So every time her aunt would change or redecorate, she would take a piece of wallpaper and put it in her journal or her diary. And these are some buttons that she found in her aunt's house, and this is just a pocket right here, and it's some more of that vintage wallpaper, and these are blank pages. And this is a postcard that her dad sent from Italy, and this is vintage, it's 1912, so that is another vintage postcard. Ugh. Okay, and then we have this beautiful vintage wallpaper, and Aloha sent it to me, and I thought it was really, really pretty. I don't know if you can see that, but I thought the pattern was really gorgeous. And so throughout the book, we're going to see a lot of botanical prints because she loves nature and botany and herbal healing and stuff like that. This is what I would think that London would look like in the 1800s. So I put that there. And then we have another really pretty page and some a cluster. And this is Tim Holtz, of course. And this is a pocket like that. And then we have pockets right here. And guys, the reason why I didn't put anything in the pockets is because it was already so chunky. So I didn't think nothing else can fit in here. So now we're getting into Lillian's story a little bit more. And these are just the last papers that her father sent her before he passed away. So she kept them in here. And this is really a vintage envelope. And this right here is from French ephemera from tailor-made journals. And so I'll turn that. And these are all blank pages, so I'm skipping the blank pages because I put a lot of them in there so that you can document your stuff. And she was very, very intrigued by Josephine Baker. So here is a little cutout of her. And so now we're into 1924, stuff like that. So this was when she would be an adult. So this is her son, and he got married. And this is a picture of his wife and her son. And so she's married and everything like that. And she is just living her life. So instead of becoming a doctor, which she wanted to be, she settles for being a nurse. So she has 3 children, and she's been married for a while now. So this is just old vintage papers and lists and things that I would think that she would be writing down, and some drawings, some really, really pretty fabric washi, but I just use that as fabric tape. And then this is another list, and then we have some more sketches and drawings. So, and then we just have another pocket. And then we have a double pocket, so it's a pocket on this side. So now after Lillian has, her kids are about, I want to say they're about, her youngest two, which is a boy and a girl, they're about, you know, 10, something like that. Her oldest son is old enough to get married. And so her and her husband, they strike out and they go on a little world mini vacation. And here is a picture of the St. Louis riverfront before everything, like the arch and the landing and all that stuff. And here is another vintage postcard from Italy, which is so pretty. And then this opens up like this, and you can put pictures in here. And then this is also like pockets right here. And so when they come back, World War I strikes, right? And so this is a printout of World War I. These newspaper printout, and then this is an actual envelope, so it'll be correspondence from some of her family members and stuff like that. And so Lillian gets this idea like, okay, my kids are a little bit older, so I can go and help. So she joins up with the American Red Cross. And I found this and I thought it was amazing. It is a picture of African American women that the American Red Cross used in World War I, and I thought it was amazing. So I just pictured her in the lineup somewhere. And so that is that. And this is, hold on, this is some more fabric that I got from Mary from Africa. And it is a pocket right here. And then we have some, so when she was, you know, sitting in her downtime, when she wasn't mending people, she just sketched a little bit. And here's some sketches right here, some really vintage old pretty sketches, and I just use fabric to tack it down. And then she did some watercoloring, you know, to keep her mind off of things, because her husband as well was in the war. He was drafted, so she tried to stay busy to keep her mind off of things. And then here is I found this vintage prayer book. I think it's from like the 1800s. So I just included a sheet because I figured that she would be praying a lot at that time. And some more sketches. I just love how they look. Okay, and we have some really, really pretty fabric tabs. And this is my favorite. I love this. I figured that she would just be drawing it from memory of how she remembered it as a little girl while she's just sitting there, not trying to think about her husband's safety. And then we have a list, and this is from 1916, and I thought it was so amazing, even though, and it goes from 1924. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? The handwriting on there is so messy. And then we have another vintage postcard with some writing on it. So, and then after that, the war is over and she is back at home. So she goes with her kids for a little while to America. And this is an estate that they own in Virginia. They do not stay long in America because, of course, America, you know, with racism and everything is kind of hard. So, but they do go there for a little while. And she is so homesick that she is drawing pictures of her home in Cornwall. So that tells you that she does go back home. So this is some vintage ledger. And those are just blank pages. And we have some more of the prayer book. And another drawing. I'm trying to hurry up, guys. And then we have the other side of that pocket. And I just did like some clusters with some fabric and everything like that. And I thought it was amazing. So now World War II hits, and Lillian is 60 in World War II, so she can't participate, but her kids do. Her youngest two, they do. They participate in World War II. So she has kept a lot of clippings from World War II because she's so worried about them. So this, and I had a old Black history book, and I think it was from the 1950s or something like that. So I just took pages out of it because I thought it was amazing. And these are the women that signed up, Black women that signed up for World War II. And then this is a picture of Roosevelt's Black cabinet, which I thought was amazing. Okay. And then this flips out like this. And this right here is a picture of Black women who took part in war work in World War II. And I thought that was amazing because sometimes we don't know our history. And so the pieces of history, I love it. I love it, guys. I love it. So this is her son and this is her daughter. He is an actual airman, and she is working more so with her brain. She is helping develop medicine and things like that. So I thought these were perfect. I love how they look. So we added those in there. And then now she's getting more settled in, and you know, she's getting older, so she's reading a lot and everything like that. So these are from her favorite books, Scarlet Letter and Pride and Prejudice. And she's drawing still and doing watercolors and doing a little bit of gardening, you know, things like that. And this is just a flip out like that. And then we are right here, and she is towards the end of the war. She's still collecting stuff. So this is a printout of where I feel like her son would be, and is in Germany, and they're just clearing out wherever the Nazis were being held or whatever. So they're just clearing it out. And then when he goes back, he is marching in Harlem, and this is a picture of that. And I thought that was really, really cool. So that is that. And then we're almost to the end. This is a vintage receipt. And this is another list. So this would be the last list that Lillian wrote. Guys, I just love the story. So anyway, this right here, I did a few little envelopes. And this one right here is from her wedding day. And we just have a French letter in here, and that is from Tailor Made Journals. Well, I actually think it's a French, is a French hotel receipt, so that marks her honeymoon, and so that's why I put that in there. Okay, and then this is an actual letter, and it's in the 1950s, so this would be from her son. And this is the one that she favors the most because it is her dad's, and this is from her dad. And she loved him like nobody's business. So this would be the last postcard that her dad sent her. This is the last postcard that her dad sent her. And this is a clipping of that African map that I showed you. Here's part of it. And that is where he passed away. And that is it, guys. I am done. I'm so excited about this journal. I just loved doing it. I really did. I'm going to have to do another one. I love doing concept journals. I'm definitely going to have to do another concept journal because I loved it. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope I didn't bore you too much. So let me know what you guys think about it. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. I hope it made you think about possibilities in history, right? So please like, please subscribe, and give me a thumbs up. Hopefully, and comment and tell me what you think, and tell me if I did okay with this. Oh, and before I go, here are some tags that go along with the journal, and they just have the fabric from Africa on them. I forgot to show those. So guys, be blessed. Bye.